Hey everyone, Alex here from Japanese Masters, and today we're going to go over Minna no Nihongo, Lesson 6, Part 6, that is verb masenka. Okay, let's go ahead and dive right on into this. Okay, so as you can see here, we have our structure, verb masenka. So what exactly does that mean in English? That's basically something like, would you like to verb? So it's a way of inviting someone to do something in Japanese. And you might be saying, well, why are you using the negative tense? If we had a verb, why are we putting the masen, the negative tense, after it? And the reason for that is reason that a lot of things are done in Japanese. It's for the politeness. We'd kind of do something similar in English. Generally, in order to be more polite in Japanese, you want to give the person that you're asking something of the most opportunities to say no. So by saying this in the negative tense, you're already saying something like, would you not want to go with me? So that they can easily refuse because you're already basically telling them, would you not want to go with me? So they don't have to say no. They can just be like, oh yeah, I don't want to go. Something like that. So overall, it's just to be more polite that you use the masen. But let's go ahead and break this down and we can see each of those parts. So we have the masen, like I was just talking about. That is going to be the polite negative tense of the verb. So these aren't two different things. This is going to be the verb in its stem plus that masen. Then, of course, we have our ka, which is going to be our question marking particle at the end. So when you're thinking about this, don't think about this as like one structure. Even though it has a meaning as a structure in itself, it is just made up of stuff that we've already learned. It's made up of the polite negative tense plus the question marking particle. And then that verb is going to be something that we are going to be inviting someone to do, like to go somewhere, to see something, something like that. Okay, let's go ahead and go through a couple of example sentences for this. Okay, so the first one is, would you like to go to Osaka with me? That would be, Isho ni Osaka e ikimasen ka? Okay, so the first thing that we should notice here is that this ikimasen ka. Now, I highlighted it in different colors, but this is not a separate word. The particle here is separated, but ikimasen is just the verb that we already know. Iku changed into the polite negative. I just wanted to really enunciate this fact here in the end, that this is the invitation form, I guess I can say, of the verb. Okay, so that kind of translates into English to, would you like to? And then the ka at the end here is the question. So you're basically asking someone, would you like to go somewhere? Because we have the verb iki. And then we have Osaka, which is just the city in central Japan in the Kansai region. And then A is our direction marking particle. You can use ni here. They both work. However, Japanese tend to, usually with ikimasu, they tend to say A more than they do ni. It's more of a foreigner thing to put ni there, mostly because it's can go there. It doesn't change the grammatical structure, and it's a lot easier for us to remember because A can always be replaced with ni. Not the other way around, though. Okay, and then we have isho ni. So this is something you're going to see a lot with invitations, especially if you're asking someone to do something with you. Then you can put this isho ni, which really emphasizes the with me part. If you just said Osaka e ikimasen ka, that's just saying, would you like to go to Osaka? Generally, it'd be implied that they would go with you, but that might not necessarily always be the case. The isho ni really solidifies that. You can also put before this something like watashi to, boku to. That even further solidifies the with me part. However, in this instance, I just dropped it because it's kind of implied. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the next example sentence. Okay, so the next example sentence is, would you like something to eat? That is, nanika tabemasen ka? Okay, so we have our nanika here, which is just means something in Japanese. And then we have the verb that we probably know very well because we've seen it a lot. That is tabe or taberu, tabemasu, which just basically means to eat. So this one is, you're basically saying something not eat, question mark. So yet again, you're just trying to be polite here. You're inviting them to eat something. You're just basically saying, do you want something to eat? Would you like something to eat? And this is just a polite way of saying that. And we have our would you like again translation for this. It doesn't always directly translate in English as would you like, but a lot of times it does translate into English that, like, would you like to go to the movies with me? Would you like to go to Osaka? Would you like to eat something? Something along those lines. I feel like that's a very decent translation for this. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to our final example sentence. Okay, the final example sentence is, do you want to see a movie with me? That is going to be our boku to isho ni eiga o mimasenka. And this is what I was talking about earlier, how you can really say that with me part by saying boku to isho ni. So you're really saying the with me here. And then we have our eiga, which is just movie. Our o particle, which is just saying what we're going to be seeing. What is this verb, this miru, to see? What are we seeing? We're seeing a movie. And then mi, this comes from the verb miru, to see. And then our masenka form. And basically, by putting this in the Masenka form, you're just turning this into an invitation. So you're just asking them if they would like to come see the movie with you. So you're inviting them to come along with. And that is going to do it for today's lesson. This is a very, very helpful phrase to know in Japanese, especially if you want to actually go out and do things with friends. Being able to invite them to go to places is very, very helpful, and it's a lot better than saying like directly if you're to tell them something like, do you want to do this? Like to use the Thai form in Japanese to tell them, do you want to do this? Because that just might sound a little bit harsh, isn't exactly as natural as saying the Masenka. All right, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments below. I'd be happy to answer them. Other than that, everyone, keep studying Japanese. All right, see ya.